Good morning, very early morning for many of you, I'm sure. It's been a couple days since I posted, but that's because I've been very busy editing this video, and I think you're going to enjoy it. But first, an announcement. Giratina is returning to raids and then transforming. Giratina, as you know, has two forms, the altered form and the origin form. And the altered form is actually the first form that we got the first time around. So the altered form, the form we already have, will return to raids on March 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and it'll only be around for a few days. On Tuesday, April 2nd at 1 p.m. Pacific time, Giratina will transform to its origin form, and that'll take over raids until Monday, April 29th at 1 p.m. So the only difference between altered and origin form Giratina is that in the main series, its attack and defense values are swapped. So the origin form is more attack focused. It's going to be the stronger one if you want to do raids, if you want to do gym battles, but the defense form will still be the better form in PvP. All their moves are exactly the same. All their types are exactly the same. So the only difference is the attack or the defense focus. With that being said, you can head back to my previous Giratina video if you want to learn about counters. It's all the same. Immediately following, you'll see some information about the Equinox event, which has been on for a couple days now, and I'm sure many of you already know this, but just in case, quick refresher, and then stick around because after that, you'll find out why my hat looks like this, and trust me, I think you're gonna want to. Today is the first day of the Equinox event, and although it started at like 1 a.m. here in India, I was asleep, at least until 5. So we're out now, but before we get into that, I have more eggs, hatching. I don't know what's left for me to hatch from these, aside from Riolu, which would be great, since everyone pointed out in the comments that I evolved mine and didn't unlock a second charge move before doing that. So, yeah, I definitely regret that, and it's gonna cost me even more candy and Stardust now to unlock that on Lucario. Beldum. That's about normal for some 10k eggs, right? I think now we're headed to are we headed to a raid? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Where am I looking? Oh, there it is. While we're waiting in the lobby for this raid to start, let's just go through the current event raid bosses on the Sylph Road. Victory Bell, Alolan Marowak, Tyranitar, Shiftry, and Absol, Alolan Raichu, Machamp, Tangela, Breloom. At Tier 2, both regular and Alolan Exeggutor. I should say regular Kanto Exeggutor, Grovyle, Mawile, Roselia, and then at level 1, Chikorita, Sunkern, Lotad, Cacnea, last thing I need any more of in my life, and Shinx. So here we go. This should go down relatively quickly, but alongside new event raid bosses, we also have some special event spawns, grass-type Pokemon, and some new moves, which is probably right now the most interesting part. I take it back, there are new shinies. Surprise, new shinies that I don't think anyone actually expected, but the more you think about it, the more it actually makes sense. It is the Equinox event, the new shinies, Solrock and Lunatone. They've swapped places, and they are the first ever regional exclusive shiny Pokemon in Pokemon GO. So on this side of the world now we have Lunatone. I did catch a Solrock yesterday before the event started. Now that they've swapped, it's going to be Lunatone here. So on one side of the world, Lunatone, other side of the world, Solrock, and they can both be shiny now. So, probably some of the hardest shinies to find in game since they really don't spawn that frequently. They don't appear that often at all. So if you find one, congratulations. You're very lucky. I can't reach this. There's a temple Pokestop there. There's a holy tree Pokestop there. If I could reach either of them, I might be able to pick up some new research. Since I can't, I'll just show you on the Sylph Road. There's a small handful of new tasks during the event. Catch 3 Bulbasaur or Chikorita for a Turtwig. Evolve 2 Grass-type Pokemon for a Tangela.
It's literally like a traffic jam
Evolve.
right now.
It's
So
just
you wanna, like, pause, like,
nope,
10 seconds?
nope. This is what it's like here. I'm sorry if the horns are bothering you, but I've been here for 3 days now. This is how we live. Evolve 5 Grass-type Pokemon for Venusaur, which is actually kind of a nice quest. It's good Stardust there, definitely. Evolve 5 grass types. Shouldn't be too hard, especially since there's a ton of them running around during the event. Speaking of events, let's speak about events in a second. So with this event, actually not a whole lot going on. Did I say that earlier? I don't actually remember. But the last thing that I think I haven't touched on is the new moves. There are new moves, Acid Spray and Leaf Tornado. These moves are permanently added to the game, so after the event ends, they're not going anywhere, but they're the first moves that are actually going to debuff or lower your opponent's stats in battle. Now we can move on to the real reason I'm actually here in India. Tonight is the beginning of a festival called Holi. When Community Day was announced, as soon as we found out that Community Day fell on the 23rd, and that was really close to Holi, I knew absolutely I would be coming to India for Community Day so that I could squeeze Holi in there. So tonight, we're starting with some bonfires. They've been setting them up all over the city, all over the country, I would assume, and we're gonna get into that. So I'm really excited. It's something that I've kind of been looking forward to and wanting to experience for a long time. So I'm glad I'm here and I finally get to check it out. So once the sun sets, things are gonna get a little more interesting. Until then, maybe a nap. There's a spirituality here that until now I've only caught glimpses of between passing traffic. At tiny temples squeezed in among apartment buildings, in a passing stranger with his hand on his heart, in the flowers hung from corner shops and pictures of deities adorning walls and windows that are, like everything else here, obscured under the layer of only loosely regulated industrialism that coats the entire city. But tonight, under the full moon, that spirituality comes front and center for the start of Holi, the Festival of Colors.
There was a king's sister named Holika. So to bring all the evilness from outside, she burned herself in this Holi. So after that we started celebrating this Holi to destroy all the evilness from around our side. And when we burn Holi, so we take round of this Holi. So it takes all our unluckiness, evilness from our inside, from our soul, from everything.
The next morning we took to the streets, uncharacteristically empty, maybe because of the holiday, or maybe because people just knew what to expect by going outside.
Holi is a festival of colors. People play Holi with colors like how we are playing here.
This comes in a year, in March or April.
And what's the reason for the colors?
Happiness.
Happiness.
The spirit of Holi really is happiness, and in a place where so many people have so little, the warm, welcoming openness of our hosts is something I will never forget.